Welcome everybody. I'm Robert, and I got my little beaver Harry here with me. And Double D is joining us now. I'll put him in the background and show you guys what we'll be working on. I've got quite a few walnut bull blinks that have been rough turned by someone else that I was given because they got a allergy to walnut, so they didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I'll be turning this roughed out walnut bull blank. I've got a few others depending on how quickly I go through them. They're a little smaller, not as fancy. This one has some rippling or figure to it here. You can see, hopefully that'll stay once I rough it, true it up. So Daniel, if you want to go through who's all in the chat, I'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. We have Douglas Mungham, Chris Spinningwood Dodger, Richard Phelan, Brian at Heartwood Turning, Adam with I Love Woodturning. We have Brent Beecroft, Chris Spinningwood Dodger. I think I mentioned him already. Peter Corcoran has joined as well. Ronnie Utchbo, Nick the Flaming Turner. Hi, Nick. Rob at Copper Owl Wood Turning. And Rex B have joined. I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
Welcome all you guys. Thanks for joining. I'm just, this tinnin was actually bigger than the chucks that I have currently, so I'm just turning it down a little smaller.
Hodge, which mic are you on?
Well, I would think I'm on my headset. Does it sound muffled?
No, the turning sounds really loud today, so it just sounds like it's picking up off a different mic. And Seth has joined, as has Barry Fisher.
Let me see if I can figure out if sound suppression somehow got turned off. I don't know. Turn the Lathe on.
And Jeanette Nance has joined. Hi, Jeanette.
All right. Can you hear me?
That's straight off your mic now.
I really wish the settings didn't change for whatever reason. Some reason on StreamYard it showed me using, I guess, a webcam mic.
It's all good. It just seemed a little loud, so I figured I'd holler at you real quick.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yep. So what's the moisture content of that wood?
I think this has been drying. One of the bull blanks, I think, has 2016 written on it, so it's pretty much ambient temperature.
Cool.
And if you guys would excuse me, I hear this beeping inside my house, which is our electronic cat genie. It's a litter box, but there's an issue with it, so I just have to unplug it and plug it back in. Apologies for that. But if any of you guys have cats, I'd highly recommend a cat genie. It's a automated litter box that you hook up to plumbing and you plug in and a water supply.
Cool. Rex B asks, how long does the bull gouge remain sharp, or how often do you sharpen them when doing a bull like this?
I mean, if I were not on a live, I'd probably sharpen it. Well, in this case, with it being dry, probably sharpen it once I'll rough it, sharpen it before I do anything, rough it down, and then once before I do the finishing cut, I'll sharpen it again for the outside, and then I'll do it again. So I guess twice, both times before the finishing cut on the outside and the inside.
Awesome. Nick asked me what the weather's like today. It is rainy with a high in the mid-50s Fahrenheit today, Nick, so it's a lot of fun. Mark, the gentleman wood turner, has joined. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark. Seems like this wood didn't move too much. It's fairly true already.
Rob with Copper Owl Wood Turning asked, is it a plumbed toilet for cats?
Yeah, basically.
Adam says, this channel is sponsored by Starbond and Cat Genie. You should ask them for a sponsorship, really.
Maybe I should. I suppose Harry could use it also.
He probably goes in there just to spite the cat.
Turn the speed up a little bit.
So yeah, I'm glad you were around to help that gentleman with his walnut allergy that he developed, you know, to take these off his hand.
Yeah, it was actually the lady that sold me this lathe. She's in our local club. And
Okay.
She was also moving out of the state, so she was getting rid of a lot of wood, so I actually got quite a bit of other stuff from her as well.
Amy DeAngelis has joined. Hi, Amy.
So if you can see it kind of, go to overhead, you can kind of see it has a fairly gentle curve, but then it kind of gets straight. So I'm just going to round over this, or blend in this curve here. And then I should be to the point of sanding it already.
Rex B says, saw you wearing flip-flops. Last time I did that, I star bonded my toes together. Safety first.
Sounds interesting. I might be using a little bit of star bond. There's a couple of checks here. Barely, you can kind of see it on camera. Probably just use, I guess, the brown.
The brown's a little more see-through than the black is, for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know if I want to. Well, we'll see how much, if there's any black in the grain.
Right.
And this is a natural edge bowl, so now I'm to the point of where I'm turning some air. And just based on the shape of it, it's either going to be kind of straight at the top, or I can round it over, which I might go ahead and do. Otherwise, I'd have to lose a lot of the diameter, which I don't want to do. Turn the speed up more. I'm at around 1,000 right now.
It's a nice and calm Saturday way to start my Saturday morning. I got my cinnamon roll flavored coffee and wood turning.
Sounds good. I'm not the biggest fan of flavored coffee, but I'm not like a hater against it. I think I saw that Brian, I don't know if he's still in, I think he said he was having lunch and then he was going to go get his second COVID jab. But Brian from Heartwood, I saw on Facebook, I think that he found a piece of wood on the beach that he's planning to use for his monthly challenge.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I found a piece that I really want to turn, but I literally pulled it out of my creek. And I was like, yeah, that's going to dry for a long time. And then I think it.
There's a little bit of the PVA glue that was used to seal it here, so I have to take it down a little further.
Brian said he is still here, so can't wait to see what you do with that piece, Brian. Adam says, that sounds suspiciously like salted caramel whiskey. No, not this early in the morning, Adam. Give me at least 10, 15 more minutes. And Mark says cinnamon roll coffee. Yum. I know Mark likes flavored coffee.
Yep.
So what's everybody's plans for the weekend?
So I think I'm done with the roughing out stage. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding the outside here, at least till like a 120, and then I'll, I guess, apply some sanding sealer and then the CA glue.
You're going to keep that rim shape, or you're going to cut that back a bit?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the rim shape like this, the natural edge on it.
Cool.
And then probably turn it down to about 1/4 of an inch. That's my guess.
Brian said, I tried to turn a piece this morning, destroyed it. The good news is I have 3 left. Yeah, that's always good when you get a log that size, Brian, that you can experiment a little bit. Mark is working on a clock, on a huge clock, and then a pen. Both are commissions. That's awesome, Mark. Rob with Copper Owl Woodturning is editing videos. Richard Phelan is trying to find his pyro machine and then airbrushes. Douglas Mungham needs to do a fruit bowl, but is unsure of the shape. I would probably shape it kind of like a bowl, and then you could put some fruit in it. I know I'm a huge help this early in the morning. Britton Beecroft says, cutting some maple, have 57 walnut blanks to rough turn, and a heck of a lot of sycamore to process. I have a huge sycamore tree, but my wife won't let me cut it down.
I'm just gonna sand the wings a little bit here with the lathe off.
Douglas, I am glad I could help, buddy. My words of wisdom. Rex B said that he got to use Yorkshire Grit for the first time. He's very impressed on a flame box with lid today. That's great. Barry Fisher's working on some commission ring boxes, Coca-Cola and Purple Heart. Nick.
That sounds cool.
What's that?
I was just saying it sounds like a cool looking box.
Oh yeah, hopefully are you going to hopefully put some pictures out on social media, Barry? Nick the Flaming Turner's in the middle of tracing out an A3 scroll saw pattern.
Is A3 18 inches by 11 inches? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Brent Beecroft says he has 2 24-inch diameter by 9-foot sycamore logs. Awesome. Barry is going to share pictures. Can't wait to see them, man. Peter Corcoran says, I am watching wood turning videos because I have nowhere to turn at the moment. A lot of time this time of year, it's harder for me to turn since I'm working in my garage, because with the weather and the severe storms and hail we get here in Kansas during the spring, we like to keep our vehicles in the garage, so it makes it difficult to turn as much as I want to, but I'm about 6 to 8 weeks out on my shop completion, so should be helpful there. Yak Branson has joined. Hi, Yak.
Welcome, Yak.
And don't forget to mash those thumbs up, people. Harry needs all the support he can get. Harry is developing, now that Hodge's YouTube channel's gotten to 1,000 subscribers, Harry's developed a bit of an addiction to the wood. So if you feel up to it and motivated, you can always chip in on Harry's Wood Fund. There's a link at the top of the chat to buy a coffee for Hodge, so that Hodge can use his normal coffee money for Harry's wood addiction.
Yeah, you know how celebrities get, once they get famous, get into addiction.
Yeah. I feel sad for Harry, really. It's just got to be careful.
Yeah. But I think he seems pretty happy,
Happiness is key. So what kind of sanding pads are those? I noticed they're like star-shaped.
Yeah, these are Klingspor brand. I don't know if you can. Yeah, Klingspor. I just got them in the other day. I was giving them a try. They seem to be pretty good.
Cool. Chris Spinningwood Dodger says, we should all feel sad for Harry in that pink smock that Robert put him in. I think Harry was pretty happy in that pink smock, though.
Yeah.
Barry Fisher asks when Harry's girlfriend is coming back.
They broke up a long time ago.
Was he getting a new one? Has he been on Timber?
Timber? No, I don't know. I mean, he might have been. Since he got his COVID vaccine, he's kind of running the streets a little bit, looking for love, I think.
Rex B says, you need a drilly like Wayne the Woodturner. I think Wayne was actually really impressed with your drill last time when you had your virtual crafty thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to trade him, but I don't know if the electrical plug would work over there.
Yak Branson says, I had a cousin who's never got off his wooded. Really messed him up. And Ruby Claire has joined. Hi, Ruby.
Welcome, Ruby. So I'll go ahead and apply some sanding sealer now, and then the CA glue. Sanding sealer. I guess I'll have to use my Asian tea sanding sealer here. Apple Honey. It's actually General Finishes sanding sealer that I just took out of a paint can type container and put it in this.
Wow, apple honey flavored sanding sealer.
Yeah. Just put it here.
And no, Mark, I'm not putting that in my coffee. That would ruin the cinnamon roll flavored coffee. Yeah, is that the General Finishes water-based sanding sealer, you said?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what I use currently. Works pretty good.
A little thinner than the myelin cellulose one.
Yeah.
Which I usually thin, but I think I just haven't thinned any, so that's why I'm using this one.
I think that goes on pretty well and dries relatively quickly, too.
Yeah.
So, Eric Winkler has joined. Hi, Eric.
Welcome, Eric.
Brent was talking about that sycamore that he had and things, and Ruby says, Brent, if you send some of that wood down, she'll rough it out for him. It's very noble of you, Ruby. That's why we appreciate your willingness to help in all things wood turning. Amy DeAngelis has a question. What is your favorite wood to work with?
So far, I'd say for just the fun factor of you not knowing what to expect, Madrone was pretty fun. As far as regular wood, I really like sweet gum just because of the color, and I guess it holds a special place in my heart because it was the first wood that I turned. But here you can see the figuring of this walnut, which looks pretty nice. You can kind of see it on the overhead cam, I guess. But so I'll just wait for this to dry a little bit and then add some CA.
Yeah, walnut has some. The walnut I've had around here has had some amazing figuring and feathering throughout it. So I've been really happy with walnut I've gotten to turn.
I don't know if any of you guys follow a guy on Instagram. I think he's got a YouTube channel, but he doesn't put out too many videos. Dan Young, he's from Oregon, but he seems like a relatively new turner. He's fairly young, I think, but he gets some amazing looking wood. I don't know from where. A lot of people ask him where, and I don't ever see him answer. I think he wants to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
So I just have my heat gun here just to dry it off a little quicker.
Probably sneaks into some national forest and takes it down.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if anybody's listening, I do not ever recommend anything like that. FYI disclaimer. Steve Ash Lerner Turner has joined, says, nice safety shoes, Hodge.
Thank you, Steve.
Rex B asks if there is a way to tell if a walnut tree has figuring when it's standing.
I mean, I think the figuring mainly, like as far as this compression or curliness, that could either come from a crotch section where two limbs meet, or it could be right under a large branch where the branch bends, like puts stress on the trunk to where it will compress and make the wavy looking grain.
Yeah, I don't know of a way, but I've always, the walnut here in Kansas that I've gotten into, it's been the feathering along the especially at any of the crotches or significant turns tends to have really strong figuring.
So I'm just going to go with the brown medium star bond and put a little bit in there. I don't know how much it's going to actually do since it's not the thin, and I don't know how well it'll soak in, but just for fun.
One of the first turners I met through social media, his name's Jim Garner. He's on Instagram as Garnered Wood. He and I actually got to split 2 pickup truck loads of walnuts as offcuts from a miller. That's basically halfway between our houses. And he turned some 24-inch platters and stuff like that had some amazing feathering in there.
Just sanding down the high CA point.
Douglas Muggan says, black walnut is another great wood, very hard and expensive in the UK. I have my neighbor right on our property line has a big black walnut that I've offered several times to cut down for him. And he has politely declined every time. It's very rude, honestly. Adam with I Love Woodturning has a question for Ruby. Other than Paul, and I don't know if I'll pronounce the name, but Lathe and David Springett, are you aware of any others I could look at for review on tools and instructions? I would love to know that answer as well, Ruby. So if you can type into the chat any info on that, that would be great. I'm always looking for additional instruction on different ways of working and tool capabilities and things.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick run over with denatured alcohol just to get rid of any dust before I use Axe abrasive paste in restoring polish.
The Wood Dude has joined. Hello, Wood Dude.
Welcome, Wood Dude. If I'm not mistaken, I think his name's Adrian.
Benjamin has joined. Greetings, Ben. He says, boom, boom. Hey, all.
Welcome, Ben.
I do watch Mike Walt and Ed Oliver. Mark, thanks for that. Well, I do when I can among all my other friends who turn too. So many. Wood Dude's name is Steven. I think Adrian is a hobby wood turner.
All right, yeah.
Nice to. I'll try and remember your name there, Steven.
Just letting the alcohol evaporate off a bit. If I wanted to pull a Jimmy Clues, I could light it on fire, I guess.
Then Baz would have to jump on.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't burn anything. It just, well, I guess it burns the alcohol, but it just kind of goes out real quick.
Leaping Lemur Leaping Lemur Craftworks has joined. Hello, welcome.
Welcome, Lemur. So
David Nickel has also joined. Hello, hello.
And use the axe paste. Basically, just apply some on, turn the lathe on, like kind of slowly at first, and then kick up the speed so that the abrasives can do their job.
And if you like Harry's supervisory skills, please do not forget to mash that thumbs up.
I'll turn the speed on slow first so it doesn't sling stuff everywhere.
The Wood Dude said Stephen Madden on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram is Woody Dudism. I'm going to check that out on there.
With name?
Yeah.
If any of you guys feel like trying axe paste, I've got a 10% off code in my description. They're based out of Pennsylvania, so I'm sure all of you guys in the UK don't really want to deal with shipping, but sometimes they'll have free giveaways and they'll ship out of the country on Sundays if you want to try your luck that way.
I just followed you, Stephen, on Instagram. So yeah, on Instagram he is Woody Dudism. Always like to see good work.
Oops. Yeah, the other day on my Instagram account, I saw that Andy Phillips started following me for some reason. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, you know, Harry is a celebrity now that you've hit the 1,000 subscriber
that's a good
mark.
Point there.
I mean, it might not be for you, Hodge.
Yeah. I just want to look at my beaver.
Right.
And you just want to rub the paste in until the sounds like it stops gritting, like any kind of grit noise, and then get a new paper towel and rub off any excess until the cloth comes clean.
Seth said, that looks awesome, Hodge. Actually says, that's awesome, Hodge. So it might be that Andy Phillips was following you, not just the piece of wood.
Thank you, Seth.
Probably both, though, knowing Seth. He's very supportive.
That he is.
Nick the Flaming Turner says, Hodge, I'm still waiting for your sticker. I got Harry's, but I didn't get yours.
My bad. I thought I put it in there.
Nick, you're really not missing much. I mean, Hodge's sticker is really subpar compared to Harry's. So I just put Hodge's on and then put Harry's right over it. It works better that way.
Yeah, that's what the instructions say to do, at least.
Mark Inman has joined from Kansas City. Mark is actually in the Kansas City Woodturners Club with me. Greetings, Mark.
Mark. Now I'm going to use their polish restoring paste.
Shannon Duca has joined. Greetings, Shannon.
Welcome, Shannon.
Seth says, I'm like a bra. Very supportive. I was actually going to say the same thing earlier, Seth, and then decided not to. So thank you for completing my thought process there. Brian, the Florida Bearded Woodworker, has joined. Hi, Brian.
Welcome, Brian. You guys can see Harry a little better. He had a fun time on National Beaver Day last week. He's really excited about going hunting for wood for the YTCCC 2021 challenge
Yeah.
for April.
Seen some interesting things come out so far.
He's got his little ninja costume ready for to hide in the darkness.
Should be an exciting adventure in the life of Harry. Seth says he's got to hop off later. Have a good one, Seth.
See you later, Seth.
Shannon says there's a national day for everything. Yeah, I think so.
Just kind of lightly applying pressure here where there's the natural edge so I don't get my fingers bashed into.
Brian asks, does Harry eat bugs too? I needed backup when I was attacked by an Amazon roach. Why did you order a roach from Amazon? That's my question.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and reverse this now and clean up the inside and reduce the wall thickness. Move my sanding thing. I just had this mounted on a jam chuck here.
Douglas Mungham says, Hodge, the gloss on that is stunning. Yeah, that Axe polishing paste does put a nice gloss on it.
Actually have a bit of the paste still here around the tenon, so I'm going to wipe that off real quick. I don't think it'd make too much of a difference, but just for reassurance.
Steven says, we need national beaver here in the UK, but it might be rude. Brian, I will try and check out your router unboxing video here in a little bit. Now I'm excited to see this surprise guest, I guess. I don't know if anybody can beat Flick's surprise guest she had pop up on her February YouTube cross-channel challenge video.
I know, that was a pretty crazy looking spider there.
Yes, that thing was huge.
Move the tourist so it doesn't hit anything. And I'll just start hollowing out the inside. Turn up the speed a little more. Turn up the speeds more.
So how's your dust collection system working for you, Hodge?
I like it a lot as far as when I'm doing the dusting, or sanding, I mean. It really captures most of the dust as far as, like, I mean, I didn't even have to put on my dust mask. I didn't notice anything breathing-wise.
I'm wondering if it would help right here with these cuts, because it seems to be going in the chute.
Yeah, I mean, I could turn it on, see what happens. I mean, it'll clean up a little bit, I suppose.
Leaping Lemur says, Canada celebrated the beaver in the 2010 Olympics. That made for interesting commentary.
I might have to go watch that on YouTube or something.
Brian asked, question, do most of you use turning blanks or wet wood? I don't buy a lot of blanks, Brian. Once in a while I will if I have a specific job I need to do, like commissions for specific things that somebody wants. I just use the tree limbs and trees that I've processed. Rob CP Woodturner has joined. Hi, Rob.
Right now, this dust collector vent hood has a little grid in the back, I guess, to keep whatever from sucking in there. But right now, it's just blocking with all the shavings, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
If I wanted to cut it off, it would probably work better, but which I might do eventually.
when you convert that to a two-stage system, you should just take those gates off.
Yeah, it is a two-stage system right now.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't gotten around to cutting it off, I guess.
Brian, I know you're in Florida. Where in Florida? Mark, the gentleman woodturner, says, not turning related, but I just managed to eat a chicken salad. First time in almost 4 years. Didn't choke to death much. That's
Good
awesome,
stuff.
Mark.
I'm going to remove the tailstock, or the live center, just so it's out of the way. And
Eric Winkler says he has to go. Going to a Zoom meeting with Harvey Meyer. Have a great day, sir.
Harvey does a great demonstration, if it's the beaded basket illusion, which I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, our Woodturners Club has a special demo in a couple of weeks. Trying to remember who it is, but he does Taurus vases.
What?
He's out
What
at,
does?
the demo guy that's doing a demo for the Kansas City Woodturners Club in a few weeks does Taurus vases, and he's out of Austin. I'm trying to pull up the email so I can get his name. Craig Timmerman.
Don't recognize the name.
Yeah, he does some. They're asking for $10 to join in the thing. I might shoot you the email, Hod, so you can see if that's something you want to join too. So,
all right.
Brian is located just south of Tampa. My 2 jobs ago was headquartered out of Tampa, so I spent a lot of time down there. So yeah, Brian, check out, talk to a local tree service, see what kind of trees they run into, and just see what it would take for you to be able to get some wood when they chop something down. Some of them might just set some stuff aside because there's typically not requirements for them to do anything specific with it.
Oh, there was a catch, because I was trying to look at the chat. So, luckily I was out of the fire. Nothing hit
That's
anything.
what I'm here for.
So, I guess I'll true up this edge.
Ouch. Douglas Mungham says, in the UK, tree surgeons are contracted by local authorities, so no wood is available.
Came kind of loose in the chuck. Yeah, that's the last time I'll try that while turning. Can't remember the last time I had it. Actually, I never had a catch that bad.
Yeah, Brian, if you do get some of that wood, Mark Inman agrees, says follow the tree trimmers. Brian, definitely check them out, see what options there are, and go for there.
All right. So take away quite a bit of this rim now.
Terry with TJ Turning has joined. Hi, Terry.
Welcome, Terry.
And Chris Schwind has joined. Hello, Chris. Tim with Bad Apple Woodworks has joined. He says, wow, that catch made me cry a bit inside.
Yeah, that was pretty big. I don't know what it looked like on camera, but
it was fast.
Yeah.
Richard Phelan says, found his pyro machine. Now for the airbrushes.
It's a shame it happened. There's a nice, pretty piece of wood. Nearly to the last bit of the breakage. on the rim.
Brian says, I have a lawn business, so I do have some contacts. I just have been intimidated by wet woods. There's nothing really to be intimidated with wet wood. Brian, just know it's going to warp if you cut it to finish. If you rough shape it and keep it on a tenon, then it's easy to put back in the chuck and get it back to round and reshape it once it dries up a bit. So just keep the walls really thick like this piece was, because it would have been rough cut, and then you can go back and finish it after it dries out real good.
Yeah, I find turning wet wood as far as into the bowl shape is easier than dry wood. All right, I'll get back to hollowing this out. I think I'm going to end up making this a little thinner now that it's so small.
Tim says, I struggle with hollowing out things because I get runbacks like that and can't figure out how to avoid it. I do best hollowing from middle out, haven't figured out how to hollow from edge in. I know a lot of that depends on the orientation of the grain of the wood too.
So when you want to try to avoid the skate back, I'll turn the lathe down and demonstrate a little bit. Like if you have your flute open up vertical and turn it, and you try to enter it, you'll get kind of a skate back like this. So you can either put your thumb behind it to prevent it, or if you turn your flute nearly vertical and then enter in the wood, it'll reduce the chance of it skating back. And then once you get kind of a shoulder to prevent it from running back, you can open up your flute more. Get my tool rest more centered on the piece.
It's good info, Hodge. Tim, Ruby Claire sent me a photo that she has used for a lot of teaching people. I'll shoot that to you in Facebook Messenger. So you have that, but it helps with grain orientation and directions of cuts, and it helps out a lot with me when I first got it, as I was starting out more, and has helped immensely with my work. Mark Inman says good save on that. Steve P. with Fenrica Wood Stuff has joined. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
True Rex 007 has joined. Good morning. I just found a local logger that finds burls, but the cost to process that interferes with his main business. Question: what would a raw cherry burl about 2 feet round or maple the same size be? That would be a lot of money.
Yeah, and from what I hear, buying burls, there's kind of like an art to it, and you could just end up with a rotten, ant-infested chunk of wood if you're unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know what they would cost, but Brailsford Woodworks just processed some off of some trees on his property. That in his last video, he just went and cut some down, so they were pretty good size. Tim's going racing today, so he has to head to the race shop in a few. Good luck, Tim. Ruby says, starting the cut with the handle far to the right will make the bevel at 90 degrees to the wood and less likely to skate. Kind of like what you were showing, Hodge. To cut into the wood. Good Turn Daily Blair has joined. Greetings.
Welcome, Blair.
Harry is very actively supervising right now, so if you appreciate his supervisory skills and the save that Hodge made on this bowl, make sure and mash that thumbs up. Steve P., this is a piece of walnut roughed-in bowl that he got from a turner that was moving and developed an allergy to walnut. So that's what's being turned. Rob CP says, I need to try turning bigger spheres and different woods.
I've never even, well, I think I tried a sphere once.
I've done a few eggs. Blair says, I bet your shop smells amazing. He loves walnut. Yeah, walnut does smell really good. It's a lot better than elm. Steve P says, an allergy to walnut. Wow, that's unfortunate. For them, but not for Hodge and Harry.
There's a bit of vibration out here on the outside, since probably less than 1/8 of an inch, a couple of millimeters here, I think. Figured since it's no longer what it was intended for, I'll try to practice doing really thin stuff.
Douglas Mungham says that the shavings look like chocolate shavings. Yeah, they kind of do. Scott Tague has joined. Hi, Scott. Says, hi, Hodge.
Welcome, Scott.
Tim says, when he starts getting that thin, it starts talking, in quotes. Yeah, making that little chirping noise sometimes when you're turning it. Ruby says, I turned one 100 millimeter sphere with 13 spheres inside. Rob, that is your next live project right there. No pressure, but 14 spheres. That's what we want. David Nichols says, walnut can be very toxic. Even a bit of walnut sawdust in a stall can kill a horse. Yeah, that's not good. Tim is asking, Hodge, what size gouge is that and how long is the handle?
This is 5/8, I believe. The handle's only like 16 inches, maybe. It's a Henry Taylor.
So it's like a pro size or a full size, I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a standard handle size.
Okay. Brian Cordebitter Woodworker says, I'll be transitioning to traditional tools once I pick up a Sorby Pro Edge. Rob says he can't afford the tools to do the spheres within the spheres. It's easy, Rob. All you really need is a parting tool, and you're good.
guys, I don't know if it's too late to register, but there's a AAW, American Association of Woodturner demo today that's free to watch by Barbara Dill. I don't know if that's still available to register, though.
She does great stuff. Mark Edmond says, this is about the time that I make a funnel. I am a pro funnel turner.
Huh.
Kind of like Steve at SK Crafts. Kim says, my largest gouge is a 1/2 inch. How big of a difference do you think a 5/8 makes?
I don't think it really makes too much of a difference unless you're doing some really deep bowls that you might run into issues with vibration. I'm just using this because my 1/2 inch one is kind of dull.
Because Rockler's having a 30% off sale this month. Well, okay, Tim, so here's the deal. You win your race today, and to celebrate, you go buy yourself a new gouge. Douglas Mungham tells me that when I'm trying to hollow, the end of the handle hits the bedways. It's not always fun.
What's his swing over his lathe? Is it like 10 inches or kind of? It'd have to be. I don't have it. I've never had this issue with this lathe, but on an old lathe, I occasionally had that issue.
Yeah, I did with my bench top from Harbor Freight. Ruby says she finds that 5/8 is much better, that it gets less vibration. Douglas says his is 12 inches.
Yeah, it's like my old lathe. Just one of those things you kind of have to deal with unless you decide to get a bigger lathe, which I have not regretted at all since that's happened.
Yeah, I've absolutely loved my Jet 1642 so far.
Of course, there happens to be some weird bark inclusion crack thing here at the bottom. Actually, that's a bug hole, so I can, if I take away another 1/16 of an inch, it should disappear.
Adam says he will be streaming Sphere and Sphere Mayhem. Probably a how not to do it set of videos soon. Yeah, I will probably have a lot of those when I first start doing my live streams, Adam. So don't do like Double D. That guy's crazy. Rob with Copper Owl Woodturning asks, Ruby, is that shaft diameter on the 5/8? I know that there's differences between how they're measured here in the US versus how they're measured in the UK. I'm not sure about if Canada uses the American version or the UK version or what on that one. So it'll be interesting to see her response.
So I think that's as thin as I can go. If you look on camera, it's fairly flexible.
Just a little bit.
This one's even worse here. I guess this is based on the grain orientation.
You sure that's not Tupperware?
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and do a little bit of sanding. I'm not going to really worry too much about the overall finish since it's probably just a practice piece. But I guess I'll leave the tenon on just in case I ever want to try to fix anything.
So Ruby says that's the shaft diameter. Brian asks, does anyone do hand carving? I just had a customer give me an entire toolbox of knives and carving tools. Brian, check out DIY Dark Matter on YouTube. He does hand carving. He's part of the YouTube Cross Channel Challenge, but he hand carved a rose for February, and then he hand carved a Poseidon spoon for March's water challenge. But check him out. He does some really cool hand carving stuff. Ruby asked why you wanted to join it so thin. Mark's heading out. Have a good one, Mark.
It was mainly just a practice to turn it thin. I didn't have an intention initially until I got that catch, and then I was just like, yeah, I'll make it thin, I guess. I know it's not really functional or anything.
Nick says that if you would like, you can send that over to him and he'll sand it for you.
Maybe.
By the time he's done sanding, it'll be down to 1/32 of an inch thick. Yeah, Tim said, I just posted a video on hand carving a handle for a tankard. That was a lot of rasp work. I bet your arms were sore after that for a while, Tim. It's the nice thing about video, though. You're so fast at it. I liked in that video how you say, I do racing and I do wood turning. Then in my spare time, I build guitars. Yeah, I just don't know what spare time is, even just with my wood turning. Rob with Copper Owl Wood Turning says he's going to try some of that scalloped edge sandpaper.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is it doesn't, it kind of contours to the inside surface of the bowl. So I think it works a lot better on the inside than, I don't think it's really needed on the outside necessarily.
Do you find it lasts longer than regular sandpaper, or is it?
No, I mean, it's all the same. It's just, I guess, maybe because it's a higher quality, like Klingspor makes some pretty good stuff.
Tim says, my wife says I have too many hobbies. I say you can't have too many. Tim, you just need to tell your wife that you made her a purple heart ring, and that should suffice for all your hobbies for like 10 years.
I'm going to go ahead and clean it off and apply some Yorkshire grit. Axe paste. I hear you guys talking about Yorkshire grit too much.
Rob asked how you liked it so far. I think you kind of answered that. Rob, if you have any other questions about that sandpaper, throw it in the chat and I'll relay it to Hodge. Nick the Flaming Turner says, to be honest, if anybody has trouble sleeping, you can always watch my sanding nightmare video that's an hour long.
So what happened is I just pressed too hard with the paper and it split the wood.
Uh-oh.
So you can see how thin it was. So it's kind of, I know there's no reason to turn anything this thin, but I guess this will just be my one failure live, hopefully for the rest of the year.
I was going to ask if you could glue it, but yeah, probably not now.
Yeah, that's not going to worth my time.
And Dr. Bob just joined, says, where's Harry's dust mask?
He's fine. I had the dust collector running. But I guess that's right at an hour, so that works out.
Hey, you took that piece of walnut, thinned it all the way down, and broke it right on time.
Yeah. I think I'll just go and have myself a beer at 9 a.m. But, yeah.
Hey, to practice. You got that catch, and you got to practice. That was the key you wanted to do, and...
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just kidding. But you guys are all here to see Harry anyways, so.
Aww. I'm not really going to cry, though.
No.
People in chat are, though.
Well, I have plenty more walnut to try and practice on. I've got 5 more here just sitting around, plus the other 2 that I showed earlier. Maybe I'll try to redeem myself and post some pictures online on Instagram.
Yeah. Tim says he wants you to go ahead and finish that one so you can see the grain.
No, the thin one?
Yeah.
I already threw it in the trash. Sorry. But all right,
good.
I'm gonna go ahead and go cry in the bathroom after I end this. So thank you guys for joining. Sorry,
No pictures
it
of
ended
that,
up
Hodge.
the way it worked. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna delete this video after it's done. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in a chat room later. Talk to y'all later.
All right, everybody, have a good one.